Hey everyone, welcome back to The Lookout. A few weeks ago I got a chance to do a real whirlwind 3-day trip. I flew into Tennessee, drove to Indiana, across Kentucky, and went out to Illinois to check out a new product that's made by one of our new sponsors, Wildfire Safety Systems. They're building wildfire bunkers. Really cool concept and good design, and so this was a trip to test it out. So we're going to take a quick trip out to the Midwest. So thanks for joining us on The Lookout. All right, I'm in Evansville, Indiana, and we're headed out to Ridgeway, Illinois to burn 700 pallets stacked up around a concrete shed. The novel thing about today is that the shed's gonna be full of salesmen and scientists and inventors that have built this concrete bunker where you can survive a wildfire. So I'm here to document that, and we're gonna drive about an hour and a half in this beautiful pallet burning fog west into Illinois. Yeah, so what's your name?
My name is Matt Messerly.
And what's your affiliation here?
I'm the new guy on the block, so I'm being introduced to this whole system today. And
All right, so you're gonna go inside this thing and we're gonna light it on fire?
we're going to light it on fire, and I was not real worried about it until I saw the pile of pallets. There's like 1,500 pallets piled around this thing.
They're like, last time we used 600 and it's fine, so we're gonna go up and
Yeah,
do some more
let's
time?
beef it up a little bit. So I signed the waiver, and away we go. The last thing I saw was some guy there pouring gasoline on it. So,
Yeah, and diesel too.
yeah, it's going to be interesting.
So how did
and now
you-
all the fire trucks are rolling in.
So you're gonna be selling these things?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. So I'm going to
So-
make myself a believer. If I survive this, I'll be able to tell anybody that they work. So if you find yourself in this situation, it's a battle.
Oh, the engineers are leaving. Is that a good or thing? Bad thing?
Don't be scared. All right. Don't be shy.
Fort fire shelters have walls that are 10-inch thick. They start with a foam core, add on concrete, a foil radiant heat barrier, additional insulation before adding metal siding on the outside. They also have sufficient compressed air for 8 people to remain inside for 4 hours. This test is part of their ongoing R&D and was mainly to introduce salespeople and engineers who had not yet been inside of it to the in-person experience. The project team wanted to test communications, a new emergency air vent system, and systems that allow people inside the fort to communicate with those in the outside world.
All right. I'm gonna shut her up.
All right, so the test fire's been lit. Got 1,500 pallets here. They're on fire. In the middle here, we've got the fort. Salesmen are inside, doors locked, and they're expressing their faith in their engineering and instrumentation. And sky's clear, fog's lifted, and we're off to the races.
When I heard about it, I thought it sounded super exciting, and then, you know, I'm that kind of guy. And so when I come out and saw the giant pile of pallets around this, I started getting a little bit nervous. I'll be honest, it kind of scared me a little bit. You don't want to be sitting in the middle of a fire that big. Yeah, that's nightmare stuff.
You're going to be selling these things?
Yeah, so they're going to bring me on, and I'll be selling these things ultimately, talking to people. And which was cool from my experience, was to be able to come in not knowing a ton about the actual construction, what was on the inside, and this was my first look at them today in person. And so I had a lot of the jitters, like initially going in and shutting that door and looking around going, I know Josh and I trust him, but this is a little bit scary, man. So it was good to have the jitters and the actual fear going into it, knowing, you know, if I'm talking to someone that's getting ready to spend money on something like this, being able to relate and say, I've been there and I know what you would be thinking looking at this.
What do you think, Mike Wilson?
Just as I was hoping, very uneventful. And you know, with 6 people in such a small space, it felt like there was plenty of room for, you weren't claustrophobic.
You could have been in there with 100 guns and still had space.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's just it's a good design.
It was November of 2024, and Linda Canty, who works for us, lives in Napa. Her house is in Silverado, and she'd experienced a wildfire. She knows that Strata Worldwide was one of the largest providers of underground refuge chambers. These are chambers that go in mines, and when there's a catastrophic event, it gives a place for people to seek safe refuge. And she said, Mike, can you build one and put it in our backyard? And I said, Linda, we can build one, but they're made out of metal. So the unit will survive, but more than likely you won't. But I got thinking, and then started talking to Josh Baling, who's here today, and Dave Most, who runs our chamber division. And so we started to put our brain to it and said, you know what? We think we can actually do this. And came up with the initial design, started looking at the thermodynamics. And in the end, what we have here today is the result of that. It's taken a little bit longer than what we would have liked, but we had to put it through thorough testing. But I couldn't be happier with what we just went through today. I sat in there, it was a non-event. Temperature actually decreased by 1 degree during the fire. It was nice having the ability to use the camera to look outside, to see what the outside environment was, see what the outside temperature was, and we said, time to leave.
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, thrilled actually.
Great.
Yeah.
We're monitoring the temperature. I've got my air quality meter, and you find that over time the temperature is actually decreasing. And so it was perfectly cool and comfortable. The way the air system acts as a cooling system, it creates this positive pressure that's constantly pushing out air. And so we just felt perfectly safe breathing the air and perfectly cool with the environment. If you didn't know there was a fire outside, you would have no idea.
Mike approached me and asked me if we could come up with a way to build a fire chamber using our panels. We started with the first prototype, which is currently in California. We had about 3 months to build it and get it shipped there for a wildfire show. It went off really well, and so then we started building from there. And over the last 2 years, we basically evolved through, I would say, 5 or 6 different versions of this fort to where we are now. We had a concept, and then watching it evolve and change as we were burnt multiple times. I think this is the 4th or 5th time that I've sat in this thing. So being able to understand what we needed to do different, how to make it a little bit better for people, how to make it to where you may not be so nervous. Just to tweak things to where it's comfortable. It's like sitting on an airplane. I mean, you go in, it sounds like an airplane, it's just quiet and smooth. So
you got compressed air in here.
So yeah, we have 7 bottles that'll basically regulate for 4 hours. So we can sit in there for 4 hours. So the construction's a layered system. So basically we produce an EVG panel, which is a structural panel here in our shop, which is basically a wire cage with a 4-inch polystyrene core foam. We're precasting 2 inches of concrete on both sides of that, and then basically a layer system outwards. So, you know, your reflective barrier, you know, some different proprietary stuff, and then basically an air gap, and then basically our steel siding beyond that. So it's just a sandwich effect to how to make this thing. So the wall overall is a little over 10 inches thick, out to the siding, from interior to the outside of the siding. The actual concrete wall is 8 inches thick, and then everything else adds another 2 inches to it. So obviously, you know, as we met with CAL FIRE and everybody, the first thing is we want everybody to evacuate, you know, follow protocol. But in the event that you can't, I mean, it's somewhere that I would feel safe putting my family in there, or if I could, you know, if I could evacuate, heirlooms, things that are precious to me or to my family, you can put those in there and protect them and know that when you come back, they're still going to be in good shape.
So it was a quick outing. I'm glad I got to check out the fort in action. I think if anything, it's overbuilt. I don't have any doubt that it could survive just about any sort of wildfire. And looking forward to seeing these things roll out. I'm glad to have them as a sponsor. If you're interested in learning more about a fort or buying one, give me a shout and I can hook you up with more information. You can find a link to the fort website on our website, and there's a link in the description for this video. Thanks for watching, and thanks for supporting The Lookout.